There. It's got that here. And last but not least, let's go ahead and share. And let's put the camera on. There we go. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Good morning, Omar. Good morning, Dave, Terrence, Wayne, Glenn, Jody, John, Robert W. Wong, Vertuvian, good morning. SJL, Wade, Art, Tom, Eagle Beagle. How are you, Eagle Beagle? Brian, Darren, Dr. Serena, good morning to you, my actuary. Roddy, Robert, Brian, Ray, the sassy trainer's in the house. Where's the sassy trainer? There she is. Anthony, Heather, Jeff, Ivano, Richard, Ricky, CJ, Lewis, Robert, Armolfo, Jody, Piet de Brock from Netherlands. My goodness. Peter, good morning, Peter. Dennis, Murray, good morning, Murray. It is. My wife said it's supposed to get warmer, but we haven't seen any of the evidence yet. Good morning, Karen. Dollar, Dollar Bill, Rice, George, Dave, Pam, Naples fan. Penny, good morning, Penny. Michael, Joel, Steve, Henry, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We'll be starting in just a few minutes. I actually opened the door a few minutes early. Ozarks, my goodness. Korea, what temperature you got at the Ozarks right now? That's really cold from what I understand because you're near really up north and mid. Probably very, very cold. Good morning, John. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. And if I missed somebody, I'm not doing it on purpose. It's just a lot of people coming through. Good morning, Richard. Happy Friday. Eagle Beagle says heat wave, 14 degrees. Hey, Charlie Clyde. Good morning. Good morning. We're still missing a few regulars. Just want to make sure everybody comes in, and we'll be starting in just a second. Let me just tune the lights down a little bit. Good morning, HG. Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. And happy Friday. I honestly don't know where this week went, Very quick, very fast week. A lot of monkey business and a lot of movement. One thing I will say, I had dinner with T-Buzz. We had a good conversation. It was the first chance we had to catch up since New Year's. He was at my house on New Year's, and him and his wife Paula, wonderful people. They share a birthday on the same date. So my wife and I took them out for dinner last night to celebrate. So we had a really nice time. And we were talking about it, and we both agreed that, with all these new tariffs and rules and regulations and executive orders coming out, it's gonna be very, for a while. It's gonna clean up, but it's gonna be a little tumultuous for a while. There's a lot of stuff going on right now, a lot of stuff, and we don't know what will hold, what will pass. It's going to go kind of like this, and then eventually we'll move on to this administration, and a shift from one administration to another administration is never easy for the market because the market has to price in so many things. And in this case, it's especially difficult because you have such different policy and the administration is so different. So we have to be careful with that. We went to Valley Smoke. We haven't been to Valley Smoke in a while. We've been going to the other place. Let's see. Feedback. Richard, good morning. Richard from Punta Gorda. It's pretty blah weather. Yeah, yeah. Kanaka, good morning. Moondog, Julian, Dave, Cam, good morning, Dan. Cam, you said you're happy NFC champion weekend. Go Washington. Yeah, there you go. Susan, Keyhawk fan, Manila. My goodness gracious. Look at that, Dr. Serena. We got more people. Anik Kumar, how are ya? Scott, Rochelle, good morning, Rochelle. Cheryl, Mazza, Naples fan, Rosalind, Dave. We still got people coming in, but we really have to get going here. So, first things first, as far as Fed data, we've got existing home sales. This will be fairly important. This will be especially for the housing and consumer discretionary. As most of you know by now, the housing sector is very, very important for a lot more than just buying a house. There are very strong statistical data that shows when people buy homes, they tend to buy other things. They tend to spend money. They buy cars, they buy clothing, they buy. A lot of times they'll take a mortgage out on their existing home to do that. But the point is, it's buying season. So this report will be very interesting, especially in light of the change of administration. I think it'll be very important. Good morning, Patricia, Samson, Robert. Hey, Robert, Tony, Tim, Peter. Good morning, Peter. Good to see you here. Motown guy. Olia. Hello, Olia. How are you? Kevin, rain on Saturday, Carlsbad. Yeah, I don't know about that. And then we have consumer sentiment. I don't think consumer sentiment is going to be as important, but I am watching PMI and existing home sales. PMI will be an important report, even though it doesn't have a red thing next to it. Now, just keep in mind, these come out after the market opens, and they could change the trajectory slightly. I don't think they're going to change the trajectory a lot. Okay, I don't think they're going to change the trajectory a whole lot, especially right now. Right now, everybody seems to be focused on China and tariffs. That's really and immigration. Those are the three big things that everybody's really focused on right now. As far as earnings, we had Texas Instrument come out yesterday, did not do well. We have GE that came out yesterday, did really well. For the most part, the earnings yesterday did better than expected. Today we have American Express and NEE. That's an important stock for utilities, and that's a very important stock for financials. Does anybody know if American Express already came out, or does it come out after the closing bell? Usually Friday they come out in the morning. Let me just take a quick look. Good morning, Wayne. Good morning, John. Good morning, Thomas. Yeah, Super Bowl coming up too. Looks like American Express already came out and the number doesn't look good. That will not bode well for financial stocks today. Okay. Fridays, usually they don't announce after the market close. They usually only announce after the market opens. So I guess I answered my own question. And yes, American Express does have an influence on other stocks like Citibank, Nextera. It's a nice stock to short, by the way. I'm going to add this to my list here. Nice shorting stock, nice smooth trend. Looks like a nice possible A-line stock. All right. So again, we have Fed data, but all of this is coming out after the market opens. Thank you, Dr. Serena. And folks, if you haven't had a chance, please give us a thumbs up. I'll give myself a thumbs up. Don't press it twice. If you press it twice, it'll delete your thumbs up. Tony says, expect existing home sales to be below expectations as a result of challenge in insurance. Tony, it's a good point, but I don't think what you're saying is priced in yet. Remember, this is from before the fires started, so I don't think that'll happen. But I think it'll impact consumer sentiment. So they beat revenue and estimates, but the stock is down. Visa and MasterCard. And bank stocks too, Murray, bank stocks too. They're all in the same ballpark. You know, credit cards and banks are Goldman Sachs, that sort of thing. Thank you, Cheryl. I appreciate it. Oh, by the way, let me post some links. I totally forget. I'm doing my last income class, gap class today, and I'll have a lot of info for you there. If you missed out, I highly recommend you check out. And I gave you a price you really can't refuse. I'm doing something very cool for you guys. I'm making everything very affordable. VIP room is at noon today. And customer service live from 10 to 1 p.m., the Cam and Gustavo show. Let me get that for you guys right here. Where are you? Where are you, Cam? Where is you? Where are you? Here you are, somewhere around here. I can't find it. Cam, do me a favor. Post the link. For some reason, I can't find it. If you don't mind just posting it in our chat, I would appreciate it. Thanks. Oh, here it is. I just found it. I was looking too high up. I found it. There it is. Hey, Angie. Good morning to you. Good morning, Angie. All right. So we already know about the earnings. Let's talk about the fundamentals, and then we'll put everything together. I find that doing this first actually puts us in the zone a little better. Cheap on the gap, up crazy price. Yeah, very, very cheap. I'm trying to get people to stop telling me that, oh, it's too expensive. Give us a trial. I'm trying to do all of that. So, E-minis, good morning, Mark. Good morning, Walter. Welcome, welcome, and happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday. So, markets are down a little bit today. They're taking a breather from making all-time highs. They all closed really, really well. They all posted a 6 week high, which is very bullish. GE did very well. This was one of my favorite stocks first half of 2024. We just couldn't lose money on this thing. I'm hoping that it's going to start trending again the way it did so we can have another major player because Matt and I loved this stock in 2024. That just as I tell you, picking the right stock is half the challenge, folks. Really is. Netflix did very well yesterday, better than expected. I'm having some issues with the company. I don't like where they're going. I think they're doing everything possible to gouge consumers, um, raising prices, not sharing commercials. They're just doing everything. They're basically replicating what they did to Blockbuster. They're carving themselves into a smaller niche. Bottom line is, I don't think Netflix is going to be doing that. I don't see anything sustainable for them. I don't see a future for them. I really don't. The only future for Netflix is to merge or start making their own stuff. And I really mean start making their own stuff like Amazon's been doing, which they haven't. They've taken the cheap way. What Amazon is doing to you guys is diluting you. They're giving you 10 foreign movies for one US movie. They're paying like $50,000 for each of those foreign movies, and they're hoping it'll stick. And meanwhile, they're raising prices. And meanwhile, Apple and Amazon and all the others and Paramount are coming out with originals. So unless Netflix becomes like their own channel and starts really producing stuff, they're not. They're going to become a foreign. They're just going to become a foreign TV depository. A lot of folks are canceling them. A lot of folks are canceling them. So again, I'm not. I'm just. And again, this is what I'm talking is fundamental. This is not technical, and you don't have to listen to me. I'm not the best fundamental analyst in the world, but I'm just. If I know about a company well, I'll talk about it. Otherwise, I won't. Netflix, I actually know quite a bit about, and I'm a big fan, and I'm starting to get turned off just by the mere sheer fact of how often my wife and I are watching it now. We used to watch it like every other day. Now we're watching it like once a month, you know? So, and trust me, when they have good stuff, we watch it. So again, I don't see why they're doing this and I don't see them raising rates because eventually people are going to say, you know what? You're just not giving us any value for this money, almost charging $20 a month for foreign movies. It's not, and those specials they have once in a while. I mean, this movie with Jamie Foxx and what's her name, Cameron Diaz, it was unwatchable. And I mean, it was unwatchable. Okay. And that's like their latest big thing. Profitable streamer because they do not produce expensive content. Well, Brian, that's what I'm saying. The business model has to change. Yeah. Yeah, it is, Darren, from 15 years ago. That's the point, Darren, from 15 years ago. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It was great. But how many Ozarks do you have on Netflix? That's the problem, you see. That's the big problem. It was amazing. I love the show. I just finished watching it again about 3 months ago. Great show. But how many Ozarks do you have? Okay. Like look at Apple and look at Paramount. Like every other show they come out is actually pretty good, you know. All right. Electric Arts tumbled 16%, didn't do well at all. That will reflect on technology. ARM slumped and Micron slumped, and Texas Instruments slumped last night. So we're not seeing a lot of. I see. All right, all right. The Gentleman was interesting, yeah, but you see, these shows are far and far in between now. You know, that's the problem. You're right; it was very good. That was like what 6 months ago. We had employment report, nothing, but we have some weakness in chip stocks. And Texas Instrument, which reported last night, did not do well. Just to show you, should have done it. Should have done a time spread on it. See that? So chips are not getting a warm welcome today. Yeah, that was the last one that's the one I'm watching right now. You're right. You're right, Terrence. But my point is they used to come out with two, three shows every week like that. Now they're coming out with one good show like once a month. That's the show I'm watching right now. And you're right. It is a great show. Moondog. All right. All right. So so let's continue. Trump stated that he would demand an immediate reduction in rate. That's like the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. He demands, yes, yes, yes. Powell is up in arms about it. What does that even mean? Like, what does that even mean? Like, this statement doesn't mean anything. He demands immediate reduction in rates. Okay, great. Tell the economy to lower consumer prices. Don't tell us that. Tell exports and imports. 99.5% of change of rates. American Express did not do well. I don't know how well Verizon did. Let me. I also demand a reduction in interest rates. Okay. Verizon, I don't see anything for Verizon yet. Does it mean anything? Absolutely no. It doesn't mean anything. Global manufacturing data is going to be coming out today. Existing home sales will be coming out today. Consumer sentiment will be coming today. I'm very interested in consumer sentiment today. Europe is up, strong week, digesting good stuff. Luxury and mining stocks led the gains on Friday. This is beautiful. This is giving us some tailwind. Yeah, he has to actually do something to get lower rates. I demand, folks, for the record, I'm demanding lower rates too. Okay. I'm also demanding lower rates. All right. Yeah, the Jackal show is okay. But folks, you just named like all of their shows over the last quarter. I think you're like proving my point. Those you just named every good show they've had in the last quarter. Four good shows. All right. China closed higher as Trump. This is good. This is positive. Now, this is something he has control over, actually. Technology stocks outperformed Friday. The benchmark modest weekly loss. Trump said in an interview with Fox that it was a good, friendly conversation with Z and that he would rather not have to use tariffs against China. That would be amazing. That would really be helpful. Now, this may give consumer sentiment a little bit of a boost, but honestly, truthfully, whether interest rates go up or not has largely depend on what he does with tariffs. So if he's demanding lower interest rates, then he should think twice about all this tariff stuff because tariffs are inflationary. So, he's got to kind of look at himself before making statements like that because he has a lot of. Yeah, I demand no IRS too. Exactly. I'm with you, Richard. I demand no IRS and I demand deflation. I demand it. Oh, the poor guy thinks he has control over these things. Verizon BDPS revenue. Good, 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 good. Japan closed slightly lower as the yen straightened following the Bank of Japan's interest rate decision. As I mentioned to you 2 years ago, they were getting ready to raise rates. They raised rates. Their rates are now at the highest level since 2008. And yes, I actually told you about it 2 years before it happened. Eagle Beagle can testify to that. Bank of America fell 1%. Not good. Not good. American Express and Bank of America, not good. Texas Instrument, not good. Metal, railroad stocks, not good. Intuitive Surgical, not good. Twilio, really good. So a lot of things are not looking good, including chip stocks this morning. Exactly, Kevin. Yes, I think him and Powell together will be great. One guy is saying, I demand lower rates, and one guy is saying, if we wish for lower rates, they will happen. Hopefully, together they can come up with something that works. But honestly, all jokes aside, all jokes aside, this right here, him maybe flying out to China and having a couple of drinks with Z and not having tariffs on China, that's deflationary. Okay. So instead of demanding, he can actually make things happen, which I hope he does. So don't stop demanding and start having meetings and the last thing we need is is him raising rates on China. That would be awful. Yeah, that would be awful. That would be awful. Yes, me too. I demand all these things too, but unfortunately, none of them are going to happen. But I like it. I like it. I demand, yes, bond market. All right. I demand that bond market rallies really high so interest rates can go lower, but it's not happening. Looks like the year-to-date VWAP is holding price. If we break below the year-to-date VWAP, we have an A line short on TLT. If we break this level right here, just to show you. And as you could see, we're not really going up anymore. And as soon as we stopped going up, the stock market started getting frisky on us once again. Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Look at mags. Here, look at the SPY here. You could see what I'm talking about right here. Just kind of sitting right here. It made this move right here and then just kind of sitting and holding and waiting. But I like how we're sitting right at the high. I hope so, Angie. I hope so. I hope so. Yes, action speaks a lot louder than words. Folks, how about some thumbs up? We got 444 people here. We only have 134 thumbs up. If we all here demand. Yeah, Rice. Exactly. Let's all demand. I demand. I love it. I love that guy. He's a character. All right. All-time high, but again, bond market, bond market. If bond market starts coming down hard today, it's going to be very bad for the market. I'm hoping that we kind of just stay here and start coming up again. Although I wouldn't be holding my breath because we're already below the what was it here? The quadruple witching VWAP, and we're about to go below the year-to-date VWAP, and we're well below the election VWAP. So this does not look pretty, but I'm hoping we can at least hold here before breaking. Keep an eye because this is yesterday. We had a very low volatile day. This is today. We're just flat, -2. So keep an eye on the bond market today. Yes, I'm expecting bonds to, no, I'm actually not expecting bonds to be too choppy, maybe for another day or two, but I think they're going to start moving because we have a lot of global data and Trump is making a lot of policy, which is in fact impacting tariffs and impacting elections and impacting inflation. But him saying I demand is not going to, it's just, I don't even know. I don't even know what to say about that. US dollar breaking down. This is very good for us. That means the US dollar is believing that there's a chance we may not have to go through the tariffs. This is great. This is great. It's causing the gold market to rally. We now have an official buy signal as of right now on the gold market. Once again, if I see some gold stocks that are starting to move, I will engage with them. Did well with spreads on SPY with Nate and Chris. Yay! I'm glad to hear that. That's just great. That's just great. Can no longer influence rates because of larger Fed debt. Tariffs can reduce debt and lower rates. Lower inflation will also lower rates. Yes, of course, Boyd. Yes, I agree with you 100%. So this is positive. This is positive. This is positive. This is good. This is good, and also this is good. Weaker dollar helps U.S. stocks go higher, and also helps commodity prices. All right. And weaker dollar is deflationary. All right. Very, very good. So I like gold right now. I like gold right now. I like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm seeing as long as the US dollar breaks the 50-day moving average. Keep in mind, a lot of times assets bounce at the 50-day moving average. So my suggestion is to wait for this to break down because once this breaks down, you've got a lot of movement here. And I'm going to tell you, if this breaks down, gold is going to spike up. Okay. What about USO? What about the energy market? Let's take a look. Let's see here. Remember what I drew for you guys? Remember what I said here? We need to break this with gusto. This is exactly what I'm talking about right now with gold. We really need to. So you don't need to be in a rush because there's a chance that gold can come up all the way up here to the top. Here, let me and break out. Now I like how it's above these levels, but we still have resistance here. So you have a clear here. You have up to about right here, and then we have to cease. But we have resistance is all the way at right here at about 26, 20. No, here it is. Where's the high? Where's all time high here? 28, 28, 26, 28, 26. So you got about 30, 40 points till we get to the high, as long as the US dollar stays weak. Okay? As long as the US dollar stays weak. All right. So energy, be careful right now with energy prices. US dollar weaker is deflationary for energy prices. So look for energy prices to keep coming down, and the fact that we couldn't break this level is very pertinent. Also, it looks like Trump really wants to get past this whole craziness with the Middle East, and I think he will. I think he will pretty quickly. I'm seeing lower energy prices. Lower energy prices. Okay. All right. Let's put everything together and talk about the stock market. So we have 181 stocks moving higher. Okay. Yesterday we had 148, so we have good momentum, strong momentum. There's nothing being narrowed here. We don't have really much momentum to the downside at all. If I mean nothing. That's okay based on the fact that the stock market's at all-time highs right now. But we got to be mindful that the market is very, very biased to the upside right now. And we had one, two, three out of four earning stocks. Oh, excuse me, one, two, three, four, including a big airline stock, a semiconductor stock, and basic material stocks and healthcare stocks all being taken down. And the market was lower this morning. So I would be very, 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 very cautious with momentum levels. It's much better to see when this is 100 and this is at 180. But right now with 32, there's hardly any stocks breaking down, which means we have a vulnerability right now to the downside. It doesn't mean I'm expecting a big down move, but that means the market is getting a little toppy, and it needs to balance itself out because this is not a natural number of stocks declining. This number should be about 100. All right. This should be 100. This should be 100. That means you have a nice even market. But right now, the upside is definitely outperforming over the last couple of days. And you could see that here. Look at it 2 days ago. So 117 to 217 to 148 to 181. Now, this can go all the way to 500, but it's not natural for this number to be this low. It just means there's absolutely no selling pressure coming in. Ironically, there's plenty of nice looking stocks to the downside. Out of these 32, I was able to find a lot, but we are in fact moving higher. Let's look at some technical levels, okay? Ooh, it's Friday. Yeah, it is Friday. Remember something about Friday. Friday markets tend to fizzle out after 2 o'clock. There's not a lot of directional bias after 2 o'clock, okay? So the stock market is sitting at all-time highs. This is a great place to be. A lot of liquidity coming up here. I like the fact that we're up here, and I like the fact that it's being driven by mega caps, by a lot of different sectors. So this is positive, and I like the fact that we're sitting literally at all-time highs. What I don't like, is, and I know I'm jumping back and forth, but there's a need for that right now. Now, what I do like is, remember a few days ago, just to show you what I mean, we had Bitcoin here, semiconductors, but the rest of technology was right here. Remember? And I said, I'm looking for technology to start coming up. This is 2 days ago. Today, remember, I have a time back machine here. I can go back as far back as I want, literally to any date I want. So you could see right now, technology is up here. So again, look 2 days ago where technology was. Down here, down here. Communication was down here. The consumer discretionary was down here. And I was telling you this is not good because you have semiconductors and Bitcoin here, but the rest are down here. And you guys can watch my replays. I talk about this every day. But now you've got technology here. You got semiconductors here. You still have Bitcoin up here. And industrial is a fairly speculative, stock in comparison to all the other blue chips. Communication services is here, but consumer discretionary is still here. Why is consumer discretionary here? Because retail, there's a lot of retail in consumer discretionary. Consumer discretionary is not all tech. So you have the tech parts doing really well, but you have the non-tech parts kind of sitting with consumer staples in retail. There's a lot of that with consumer discretionary. And a lot of consumer staples, as you all painfully know, is consumer staples. What do I mean by that? Target. Is it consumer staples or consumer discretionary? What about Walmart? What about Dollar General? Don't argue with me. 50 it's going to be 50-50. What about Apple? What about Amazon? You see my point? It's those are easier to put into the tech sector, but it's very hard these days to discern between consumer discretionary and consumer staples and retail. So I understand why consumer discretionary is here. Oh, look at you guys are having nice conversations there. RJ, if you put 100 people in a room and ask them if Apple is consumer discretionary or technology, 20 years ago, everybody would say it's technology. Now, about 45% would say it's consumer discretionary. And it is. And what about Amazon? Is Amazon technology or consumer? Folks, here's the deal. The further along technology gets, the more technology will become part of everyday life. Think about it. 50 years ago, technology was technology. Now technology is everywhere. I mean, soon you'll be buying gum with a little technology chip in. You know what I mean? So technology is trickling down to all of these aspects too. So it's going to become more and more difficult every year to figure out the difference between technology and consumer discretionary. There isn't a right answer. It's considered tech. It's considered tech, but it's also consumer discretionary. There isn't a right answer. There isn't a right answer anymore. And I'm just trying to explain it to you in a very fundamental sense where it makes sense to you. The lines have been blurred substantially, okay? If that makes sense. All right. Does market fizzle on Friday after 2 due to market makers defending call walls? No, they start fizzling out on Friday afternoons because institutional managers are lazy and they want to take off early. Does that answer your question? BBEMFKC? Yeah, they're not defending any walls. The only wall they're defending is the Great Wall. I had to. It's funny. So technology is getting a little bit stronger. Technology is getting a little bit stronger, and you still have a whole mix here between blue chips and everything else. So we still are very fragmented with technology starting to show a little bit of a lead. Most likely scenario on a Friday is a consolidation, especially after a nice run day like we had yesterday, making all-time high. Got to have a little fun, right? Yeah, you know what? You know how Angie, you're not that far away. You know how they have fintech, right? Like, do you guys remember 20 years ago, did we have a sector called fintech? I don't remember, but now we have fintech because a lot of like PayPal, Square, Block, right? Block, Square, fintech. It's a new word. We didn't have this word. We didn't have this word 20, 30 years. Not that I can remember, right? It's going to be the same thing with discretionary tech, I guess, You'll see, Angie. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. The word may be a little different, but I don't think you're wrong. So I think there's more truth into what you're saying than about how they're just going to rename it and call it fintech or tech, consumer tech or something like that. Yeah, XYZ now for. By the way, Square is not Square anymore. It's XYZ. By the way, a lot of you don't know that, but you're not that wrong, Angie. So let me give you links. My Gap class at 1 p.m. today. VIP room at noon. And I'm going to have a very special education session today at noon. I'm going to talk about implied volatility. Wayne, it's XYZ. I just said it. It's XYZ. And let me give you customer service live. Don't miss the Cam and Gustavo show. Hey, Gustavo, are you here today? I don't think I saw you today. If you're here, I just wanted to say good morning to you. So, Spider, we're at a very interesting point. I'm not seeing any real major downside here, but I'm not really seeing too major upside. We would need to take out the high from yesterday. Okay, let's look at QQQ. QQQ, same type of deal, although we're not at the high yet. I'm not as bullish on the QQQ as I am on the SPY because we haven't broken out the high. And if we fizzle out here, we have a confirmation of a downtrend. So technology really needs to see a breakout above these levels. Okay, we need to break the high here. We need to break the high here. We need to take out this 536.88 level, and we're only at 532. Okay, happened a few days ago, Richard. Biotech and healthcare. I don't really separate biotech here, but healthcare is right in the middle. It seems like blue chips are kind of gliding along with interest rates, and technology is trying to rally again, which is a bullish sign, especially ahead of. Hey, Gustavo, good to see you. Good to see you, especially before major earnings come out. Okay. All right. So let's continue. So we don't want this gap filled. We don't want this gap filled, and we want to see more upside. But again, folks, I'm just being honest with you. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm seeing more of a consolidation today. I'm seeing more of a consolidation, especially with these earnings, most of these earnings being negative. Okay. Again, my job here is to try to tell you what I think is going to happen today. FANG stocks. Let's look at MAGs. Just happened a few days ago, Richard. I think it might have happened at the beginning of the week. By the way, Richard, I posted it in the Telegram channel. I like MAGs right now. I like how we broke this downtrend. I like how they're higher right now. I like this. And MAGs, it would be the ones to look at if you want to see the NASDAQ 100, this right here. If you guys want to see a good clue for you, if you want a good indication of whether QQQ is going to break this high, keep your eye on MAGs, because I'm quite certain that if MAGs you don't have any resistance on MAGs till 58.36, which is the high. So if this continues moving higher today, there's a good chance we could break it. My suggestion so far today would be keeping your eye on MAGs versus RSP, because the other day RSP got money coming in, but MAGs didn't. Want to see if this takes out the high or if it just continues making a consolidation here. This is RSP, and whether MAGs make it. I want to see these assets. I want to see all the indexes. I'll tell you what I want. I want all the indexes to take out yesterday's high. That's what I want to see. Doesn't mean that they need to close there. I want to see them take out the high. If the indexes can take out yesterday's high, that would be very beneficial. And I think MAGs is doing it already. So MAGs is leading right now. And when MAGs leads, it usually gives technology a boost. So the fact that these sectors are up here, and the fact that MAGs doesn't have a lot of resistance till this level tells me that we may see a good move in MAGs today. Why don't we demand rice? The issue is here is Amazon is not a home in this business. It used to be. Yeah. You're exactly. It's what Rice just said. Think about it. Amazon does so much server work, and at the same time, they sell you guys books. I mean, if I put 100 people in the room, 50 of them will tell me Apple is a consumer discretionary company, and 50 will tell me it's a tech company, and everybody will be right. And same thing for Apple. It's just not worth the argument. It's a good debate, but it's just one of those things. There's no right answer. It's still considered technology. Okay? Good morning, Pops. Good to see you here. I just saw my Pops before I started. He came to pick up my daughter, take her to school. Good, RJ. Okay, so I'm hoping to see more upside on MAGs, and they are leading today. Whereas if you look at RSP this morning, it's weaker. So I'm hoping MAGs will not fold today. And QQQ, again, I'm sorry if I'm doing this twice, but I think people want to see this. we have a resistance right at all-time highs. I can't draw this line. I don't want to draw this line right now, but there's a line right here at like 530. Let's see, what's the high here? 536. There's a line right here, right here. See that high, the previous high right here? So it's like right there. So we have some room here. We have a little room here. Okay. Which part makes more money? I don't know, Angie. That's a great question. I think it's a together kind of thing. So again, consolidation, unless we take out the high. If we take out the highs on all the indexes, there's a chance we can go higher. Okay. Tech is leading right now, but not by a very, I'm stretching when I say they're leading because I mean, you could see they're not really leading by a whole large margin here. Okay. Last but not least, let's look at volatility. I want to give you all the things you need to look at today. Gustavo says, Gustavo. White code. Oh, congratulations, Gustavo. That's huge. Gustavo, that's huge. Now that would make me proud. If my son put that white coat on, that would make me. That just tells you that Gustavo is a great dad, because it's very hard to achieve that kind of success without having a good foundation. So Gustavo, I bet you the doggy's nice and happy. That's a big deal, Gustavo. That's a really, really big deal. Transitioned on the New York on January 21st, and it's really no big deal. Yeah, it's not. It wasn't a big deal. It happened. It happened about 3, 4 days ago. I posted it in the chat. Yeah, big. That's a big deal, Gustavo. That's a day I can't wait for. You must be very, very, very happy. You must be very, very, very happy. So volatility. Notice yesterday. Here, let me go back to 2 months. Notice yesterday we did not move from here. We did not move, but notice we didn't go lower either. We're still right at this level. Now, I'm going to tell you something, folks. We have news today, so it should break this up a bit. But if we stay at this level, you're not going to see a lot of movement from the market, one way or the other. So I'm going to give you a little summary before I get into the stocks. I want to just give you a little bit of a summary of what we covered, so you guys have a good handle today. It's Friday, which means around 2 o'clock. If you see a big rally, don't jump in. It's a good time to take profit because Fridays we tend to fizzle out around 2 o'clock. This is not 100%, but 75% of the time. Okay. Number two, we want to see all the major indexes take out yesterday's high. I think it'll happen on mags, but then I want to see it sustain that level because we're having right now we're having an inside day. And we're down a little bit, just a hair. I want to see the market. I want to see the market take out the high. The longer it takes to take out the high on the SPY, the harder it will be to do it. I want to see the bond market, the TLT. I want to see the bond market flat and not do anything or go higher, not lower. If we start breaking down on the bond market, it's not going to be pretty. So I want to see the bond market go higher or at least not go lower. I don't want to see a big movement on volatility, or if I do, I want to see it go down. I want it to break down, and I want to see the indexes take out the high. Okay? Semiconductors, very, very important. Let's talk about chips right now. We're back above our line. A few companies had bad numbers. It's down right now 0.36. What I want chip stocks to take out yesterday's high. If we can't take out yesterday's high first couple of hours of today, forget about it. Okay? Forget about it. Forget about it. All right. So, with that said, let me give you the stocks that I like today. Intuit, a little choppy, but not bad. Consumer staple company, or actually consumer discretionary. See, again, is this a consumer staple or a consumer discretionary? Let's take a look. Consumer staples. But I mean, is an energy drink a consumer state? You see my point? You see how it gets a little, it's not clean. It's not clean. PSN. Nice looking breakdown. While the market made an all-time high yesterday, yes, institutions were selling this stock yesterday. I could promise you that. I would put my life on the line. Okay. Hershey's, I talked about this stock last few days, and STZ doesn't look much better either. Beautiful trend, beautiful downtrend. Wiley, the book company, haven't. This used to be a really really good company. Nice breakdown, real nice breakdown, real nice breakdown. MNRO. I've never traded or heard of this stock before, and I'm not being sarcastic. I'm being totally. We don't have this in Florida, as far as I could see, or in Los Angeles. So, not really familiar with the stock, but nice trend. I wouldn't day trade this. A lot of wicks. When you see a lot of wicks, you don't want to day trade those stocks because then they go back and forth. But I like the trend. Good for a swing. NEE. We talked about this stock. Is a utility stock. Definitely a breakdown stock. It's an A-line stock right now. Now let's talk about the upside. Now, I want to tell you guys something about the upside. I'm going to talk more about this in the VIP. This stock is not ready for upside yet. Sorry, not ready yet for upside. Deck, I'm going to tell you something about the upside. There was 100 and something stocks today on the upside, 147. And I'm going to show you this. I'm going to go through this with you in the VIP room today. I don't have time today, and it's not really a good time for that. But I'm going to show you what I don't like about most of the stocks on the upside today. I don't have time to do it now, but most of the stocks that are breaking out, that are making the 100, they're overextended, and they don't have a good base. They don't have a good foundational base. So most of the stocks that are on the upside right now don't look nearly as good as the index. And again, I hope you guys come to my VIP room today where I could actually take 10, 15 minutes. 10, 15. Yes, it did, but earnings are done already. It's past Hiru. We're already past earnings. Excuse me. We're past earnings. You don't want to put in a position before earnings. This is after earnings. Okay. So Decker's looking pretty good. Amazon, I like Amazon right now quite a bit. Again, a little overextended, but not bad. Rocket Labs, nice, nice move in the stock. Nice consolidation. Nice breakout. Meta, I told you I would have Meta on my list. Nice, 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 nice breakout. Nice, nice breakout. Nice breakout. BE. Nokia is not on my list. Bloom Energy. Marvell. I've never talked about this stock before. No, no, no. We've never talked about this stock before. Yes, I'm being very sarcastic. I don't think this stock is very liquid for options, but if it is, it's a nice looking stock right at the A line right here, right there. Look at all the VWAPs. See, this is a stock that has good foundation. A stock that looks like this is not. A lot of stocks are looking like this right now. Do you understand? So, and I'll show you that. I'll show you. I'll actually show it to you during a VIP room today. Um, Roblox. Roblox is still on my list. Nice looking stock. Bros. First time we're ever talking about Bros here. We've never ever talked about Bros here. First time. Eat. First time we're ever talking about Eat here, right, guys? How many times have we talked about this stock? 30, 40, 50 times? Chewy looks really good. And that's it. Those are my stocks. I'll take a look real quick. I have a minute. Intuit, I do have to go to work, but Intuit looks nasty. I talked about Intuit. I talked about Intuit. Um, I talked about BE. I talked about BE. BE was on my long list. BE looks good. And what was the other one? Nokia. Nokia. What was the ticker for Nokia? Let's see. Noke. Noke. Let's see. No, no. There's nothing I like about this stock. Look at this. Look how gap. You're gonna buy this stock and it's gonna open here and you're gonna tell me that I'm a hack. This is nasty. Look at the price action on this stock. Look at how gappy it is. Why would you want to buy a stock so gap? Do you want to put on a position and wake up the next morning right here? Stop messing around. All right, folks. Today, last time to see my gap trade and last time to get a special deal that I gave everybody. And boy, oh boy, did I give you a good deal. Into it before tax time going down. RJ, you're looking at fundamentals. Stop looking at fundamentals. We're not fundamental traders. We're technical traders. Look at Intuit stock. Look, just broke this downtrend right here. If it breaks right, I would wait for it actually to break a little lower, but if it breaks a little lower, the next level is right here, 560. I don't care that it's tax season. All right. If you guys have any questions, you can email me. Here's the link again for my gap class, 1 o'clock right after VIP room. Here's the link for my VIP room. Here is the link for customer service live. And it's Friday. We're at a very important point. We need to see stocks trade above yesterday's high. We need to see the bond market go up or stay flat and not go down at 9:45 or 10 a.m. when we have these reports today. Okay? All right. We want to see the US dollar stay lower and we want volatility, hopefully, to break lower. Now, I'm going to give you a little tip. If the stock market's getting ready to make all-time highs again, this will drop. This will go lower. Okay. The fact that this didn't go lower is not a good sign. I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for being here. My email is roger@rogerscott.com. I don't do customer service, but I do everything else. Please have a great weekend and be careful. It's Friday and it's danger zone. And we've been getting some really good feedbacks from those scalps on the S&P that we've been doing in the pit. So I'll keep doing them for a while longer. We're gonna launch a new service surrounding it probably in a couple of months. So you guys still have a couple of months of free trades. See you guys later. Have a great day. This was a really nice session. Thank you so much for all of your support, for all of your letters, and thank you for being here. Bye, everybody. Bye. Stay out of trouble. Bye.